Every year, countless of lives are being taken by takeovers and street racing. The problem has kept growing and growing and growing. And what's going on? What's happening? Who are these people? Who are these young minds that are losing their lives? They are going to jail. They are basically destroying their own lives and the lives of others. As I'm standing here and I see these donuts all around me, these circles, this drifting as they call it breaks my heart. I know what's behind that. Since the pandemic, it got worse. It came up to be this chaos that is happening everywhere right now. Legislators now are trying to do something about it so much since 2 years ago until now. But what about the years before? Education, it's so important. Education is one of the most important things there is because we can still mentor our youth and prevent this. One of the things that street racing kills us is exactly that. Prevent the parent from losing a child and educate the youth. Educate our future drivers and mentor them before anything bad can happen when they're out on the road. We want to prevent exactly this. We want to prevent deaths and we want to prevent people getting hurt and young people going to prison. There's many lives that have been affected, many people that have lost someone, and many people that wanted to do something about it. And they have joined street racing kills, like Lori Argumero, my community relations director, who lost her niece to a street racing crash, and now is our victim speaker and speaks and talks about how she lost her niece to a street racing crash.
Hello, my name is Lori Argumero. I am the Outreach and Community Relations Director for Street Racing Kills. I joined the organization 3 years ago when my niece was killed by a young man that was street racing. I'm really glad that you guys are here under these circumstances today because my story is very personal. On May 11th, 2019, my niece Bethany Holguin and her little brother Emilio were on their way to pick up her daughter. It was the day before Mother's Day, and Bethany wanted to surprise her mom and show up the day before. She was only 3 blocks from picking up her daughter. She was at her father's house, and they told their dad that they were gonna surprise their mother and they were gonna go meet up with her. As they were driving to pick up Layla, 2 young men decided to race down a residential street. These young men were going about 100 miles per hour when one of them ran the stop sign and hit my niece Bethany. They hit Bethany so hard, every bone in her body was crushed. This is something that's 100% preventable, and I never thought that our family would be going through something so tragic. And Sunday, Mother's Day, as we were looking for Bethany and Emilio, never in a million years did I think that I was gonna get the phone call that I did at 5 p.m. that day. It was my sister-in-law, and she told me that Bethany had passed away, and they asked me to identify her body. My sister-in-law lived pretty far from the coroner's office, and I was the closest. So my husband and I drove to the coroner's office. Honestly, the only way I was able to drive myself there was I thought maybe it wasn't her. Why would the authorities call and ask you to identify a body if they knew who it was? Part of me thought hopefully, somebody stole her car, it was somebody else in the vehicle. And that was the only way that I could get myself to drive. As we drove down to the coroner's office, we get there, and then I realized it's just a formality. A special agent came to the door. She introduced herself. She told me she was sorry for my loss, and then she asked me if I wanted to know what happened. I said, yes, please. She gave me all the details of the crash, and then she asked me to identify Bethany. At that moment, that was the first time that I really, truly understood what heartbreak was. The same piece of me died with Bethany that day. And the hardest part was leaving that coroner's office, not being able to take her with me. See, our family didn't have time to grieve. Emilio was still in the hospital, and he was holding on for dear life. Straight from the coroner's office, we went to the ICU. We get there, and the doctors are very honest with us. They tell us that Emilio may not survive, and they let us walk in and out of the ICU all night to say our goodbyes just in case he didn't make it. You see, when Emilio was hit, half of his skull was removed because his skull was crushed in the crash. His eye socket was broken. His cheekbone was broken. All the teeth on the left side of his face were broken. His arm was broken and his pelvis was broken. So what happened that day? Well, two young men decided to race. 30 seconds of adrenaline changed all of our lives forever. So I share Bethany's story because I want you to give you a different perspective on things. I want you to make better decisions moving forward. I want you to understand that these type of decisions can change your life and an innocent person's life forever. You know, you don't see these things on the news. You hear about people losing their lives to street racing, takeovers, these donuts. But the things that you don't hear on the news is the process of burying a 23-year-old that had her whole life ahead of her still. Bethany wanted to be a model. She was only 23 years old. She was beautiful. We used to share makeup tips. We used to always talk about what we were going to do with our future. She was in school to be a dialysis technician. When her car was finally released, I had got her backpack from the car with her books from school. She wanted to save lives. That's what she was going to school for. She's saving lives now every day in a different way. And I'm very proud to speak on her behalf. But it wasn't her choice. She didn't choose to race. She was just going to pick up her little girl.
A Notary to You is a family business locally owned and operated, serving the South Bay since 2004. We are located at 3128 Pacific Coast Highway in the city of Torrance. Our services include notary services at our office or at your location, live scan services for DOJ and FBI background checks, hard copy fingerprints, marriage licenses and weddings, either just a simple and private "I do" at our office, or a personalized ceremony at our chapel so you can share your special day with your friends and family. We also have ministers that will travel to your location. In addition, we offer apostille services and document legalization for international use, translation services and certifications, passport pictures, fax services, copies, and much more. We have 19 years of experience and great reviews from satisfied customers. There is always a notary on staff, and we also speak Spanish. Our clients sit at a desk, so they don't have to stand while we conduct business. We also have a separate room to offer our customers privacy when necessary. A Notary to You for all your notary needs. We are open Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. and Saturdays from 9 a.m. until 3 p.m. We also provide after-hour services by appointment. Call or text 310-801-9462.
Street Racing Kills is a nonprofit organization that was created in 2014 when Valentina D'Alessandro, a Torrance student, passed away due to a street racing crash. Since then, we've been creating awareness among the youth and young adults. We've created programs, high school assemblies, senior project, after-school program, assemblies, you name it. The Vals Respect the Road Scholarship was named after my daughter Valentina D'Alessandro, who went to Torrance High and passed away to a street racing crash. We decided to name it after her instead of waiting for a bill to pass. However, we were able to mentor our students this way and allowing them to have free driving school, which a lot of time parents have to pay for it. When we started, it was only for disadvantaged children. Now we just do it for everyone. Anybody can apply for the scholarship and get free driving school. Before that, though, they have to attend our Respect the Road Summit, which we do it via Zoom and sometimes in person as well. And any teenager can apply. Why not take the burden of a parent and take away just that little something that they have to pay for and then pay for their driving school? So they will get all the education possible. The Dolls Respect the Road Scholarship covers from street racing to distracted driving to driving emotionally, to every aspect you can expect of traffic safety. It is very important for us to mentor students, and why not give them a chance to write an essay about traffic safety? What can they do? A PSA, and then have this amazing event afterwards at Dave & Buster's and they can receive the scholarship. We talked about the victims a lot, but what about those young people with a promising future whose life all of a sudden starts in prison, whose future is cut short? All their dreams, everything that they wanted to do, and for that moment of fun, of making their own decision because they're thinking with a young mind, make their own decision to do a street race, to do a burnout, to do a takeover, ended up killing someone, and end up going to prison for so many years. Coming out when they are older, and some may never come out. Some may not make it out of prison, but some do. In our case, we had the privilege of having Raul Contreras with us, who went to prison at 18 years old for chasing his girlfriend on the freeway. Somebody ended up dying, unfortunately, and they decided to make an example out of him. Raul got out at 40 years old, and Raul now is with Street Racing Kills and shares his story of the behind the scenes of being in prison, of the behind the scene of being a young boy, 18 years old, what he went through when he was there. He shares this so young minds can understand what can happen and the consequences of making the wrong decision.
Hello, my name is Raul Contreras Jr., born and raised in West Covina, California. At the age of 18, I made a bad decision. I decided that it was okay to chase my girlfriend and her friends in a car on the freeway. And that ultimately led to the driver losing control, going off of an embankment, and the car nosedived and flipped. Had 5 people in the car, one ended up dying, which was Ashley. She was 12 years old. Her sister, Kathleen, ended up being paralyzed from the waist down, and all the other girls got bumps and bruises. I was sentenced to prison for 32 years to life. There wasn't a day in those 22 years that I wish I could have done something different, that I wish I could have told the other families how sorry I was. For 22 years, I carried that with me, because it wasn't just me that was involved that day, you know. It was 5 families that were involved, a whole city that was involved. You know, the people that had to witness it, you know, that was something that they'll probably have to carry with them, you know, every time they get on the freeway or they get in a car. Kathleen, her being paralyzed from the waist down, well, you know, I ruined her life forever. You know, she'll never be able to walk again. She'll always have to be in a wheelchair, need assistance, need someone to help her. I thought about Ashley, how she, you know, at 12 years old, you know, her life was cut short. How she will never be able to be a mom. She'll never be able to have a father-daughter dance, you know, have a quinceañera. I decided to get involved with Street Racing Kills to make a change, to make a difference, hoping that my story can touch or impact a youngster's life, boy or girl, show them the ramifications of, you know, bad choices and decisions. I can't change my past, but I can change my future, and I can maybe help somebody in the process.
Let me offer 5 tips for a new startup to market and build its presence. Keep in mind that what we are trying to help you do is make the leap from your new product or your new service to selling it. So with an 80% failure rate in startups, or look at it positively, only 20% make it, there are things you need to do. Number 1, you've got to create a marketing strategy, which means you've got to be looking at the market as you're thinking about developing that product or service. Number two, you've got to build a brand. And a brand is not a logo. A brand is what describes you. It's like the unique sales proposition. What is it that you're offering that's a takeaway, that's a differentiator, that will help you deliver the sales benefits and solutions that customers are looking for? Number three, you've got to know the industry that you're going to be working in. Know the competition, know the businesses, know the products and services, know what may be in development in the future. Number four is absolutely critical. Always build relationships. Wherever you go, from the moment, even before you started thinking about your business or your product or your service, build relationships with the people that you meet. They will be your source of referrals, of new customers, of referral prospecting, all of those things that you need to do. The last tip, and this is probably the most critical, only 35% of new startups get financing. So if only 20% make it, of that number, a percentage of them have been able to start without financing. Most of them, 35%, will be able to get financing. So keep in mind these marketing tips that will help you succeed as a startup. My name is Alan Coleman. Please join me again for new Revenue Accelerator tips.
Mailbox Rentals by a Notary to You is located at 3126 Pacific Coast Highway in the city of Torrance. Are you tired of your mail getting lost, damaged, or stolen? Stop Porch Pirates. Have your packages and mail safely delivered to us and get a real mailing address instead of a P.O. box. We also give you a private access code. Pick up your mail whenever is more convenient for you, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We are located in a safe neighborhood, and we have security cameras for added protection. We also have workstations. You can rent a space full-time, part-time, or just for the day. We give you access to a secured Wi-Fi connection and semi-private restrooms that are well-maintained. In an office with storefront visibility and plenty of parking. Our prices are very competitive and will match any promotion or discount offered by local competitors. For more information, call 310-257-6824. Mailbox Rentals by a Notary to You. Just a phone call away.
One of the things that happens is that there's people doing donuts, or drifting as they call it. And also there's the other part of the spectators that are just watching. If you get invited, please don't go. Don't risk your life. It's not worth it. If that car loses control, it can hit you. If you're there trying to take some pictures for social media, it can hit you. It can lose control. They are not professional drivers. They're not professional racers, but they're going there to have a good time. If you're a person that wants to do donuts and like it, why not be famous and not infamous? Why not be doing these donuts at Irwindale and at Bernard Park when it's a legal environment, and you can even win prizes and people can see how good you're doing and nobody is gonna get hurt. So let's save some lives. Let's everybody make it home safe every day. And let's make sure we share around the love that we have for the car culture in the right way, in a place when it's safe and it's legal, and you can still show off your beautiful car, which is nothing wrong with loving your car. There's nothing wrong with having a cool car with everything on it and make it super cool. But if you do it in a safe environment, there's nothing wrong with it. And why not? Yes, join a car club, but join a car club where you guys can respect each other and have respect for the streets. We have with us Detective Arms from LASD Motorsports, who talks to kids, who talks to young people, who goes to the school with us, and he has joined us for many years now. We have partnered, we love what we do together, but what does he do? He brings his Tesla, and he's a detective in the sheriff's department. You can raise him, you can raise a police officer at the track in the legal environment. We even give free tickets. Detective Arms has been building cars since he was a teenager. And now he loves doing what he's doing and giving a chance that if you want to race and if you want to race a cop, why not do in a legal environment and for free and come with us to Irwindale Speedway.
Hi, I'm Andrew Arms from LASD Motorsports. I'm a Los Angeles County Sheriff's Detective. I've been a sheriff deputy for 16 years. I'm here today to talk to you about driver safety. Growing up as a kid, loving racing and motorsports, it was only natural that once I became a sheriff deputy, I found a way to get involved with racing again. Shortly after being on the department, I was recruited by LASD Motorsports. LASD Motorsports is a group of sworn, retired, and reserve LA County Sheriff's deputies that spend their off-duty time educating the youth and providing them with an outlet to race at a local track. When I first began the LASD Motorsports, my first vehicle was a 2013 ZL1 Camaro. As the program progressed through private funding and sponsors, we were able to acquire a 2015 Model S Tesla. My favorite part about racing at the track is the adrenaline, the thrill, the competition, the ability to push my vehicle to the very limit without worrying about endangering innocent people. There are several safety measures in place at a track that you aren't afforded when you're out there racing on the streets. There's the tech crew that are trained to go over your vehicle and look for safety features or things that may injure someone on the track. You're required to have a legal helmet, which means a helmet is approved for a certain amount of time and you have to wear it while on the track. Certain cars that go a certain speed are required to have a roll cage, which is not provided by the manufacturers. A major factor in street racing is the surface you race on. The difference between a track surface and the street are significant. A track surface is prepped by professionals using chemicals and state-of-the-art technology to prepare the track for maximum safety. The surface on the street is significantly different than a track surface. There are all kinds of variables that aren't accounted for prior to an illegal street race. Loose gravel, ruts in the road, oil, and other debris that will cause your vehicle to lose control at a high rate of speed. LASD Motorsports and Street Racing Kills would like to invite you to Irwindale Speedway to race me in my ZL1 Camaro, or you can challenge me in the Tesla if you think you're fast enough. In addition to the 8th mile racing you can do at Irwindale, they also have a large burnout box where you can swing it, drift, burnouts, donuts. So come on out and enjoy your vehicle at a safe, secure location. So hope to see you out there. Race the strip, not the street.
We would like to encourage the community, encourage parents, families to come and help us continue our mission. We want Street Racing Kills to continue for a long time and be here to protect our future drivers, to protect everybody that's out in the street. Crashes are 100% preventable, and we can do this together. If you're a victim of a crash, why not come and share your story and prevent somebody else from having the same fate? If you have lost someone, if you're a survivor, if you're just someone that just wants to help, we need you. We need you here with us so we can continue our mission and continue saving pedestrians that are walking. I lost my daughter to a street racing crash. I want no one to go through this ever, ever, ever for something that is 100% preventable. Let's do that. Join us. We will welcome you with open arms.